So today we are going to be reviewing the McLaren 720S. I actually purchased this car around 8 months ago, and if you're asking, or it's the first time you're watching this video, my name is Jay Mendez and I've been wholesaling real estate for the past 7 years, and I've been able to purchase my dream car, my first supercar, a McLaren 720S Performance. This video right here is going to be breaking down everything about the car, everything I've learned about the car, all the tips and tricks, the experience of owning it and dailying it for almost 8 months, and pretty much everything you need to know. If you want to learn actually how to wholesale real estate just like I do and how I've been able to do this, you can click the link down below and go from there. But let's get right into the video. So let's go ahead and get into the actual spec of the car. I think, in my opinion, it's a pretty good spec. It's a better spec than most other ones out there. This is a 2020 McLaren 720S Performance. As you can see, it is a dark gray in gloss. We have most of the carbon options. We have the carbon inserts here, the carbon mirrors, carbon over here, and then obviously every single carbon option on the inside with the steering wheel, with the center console and everything. Now this is what it looks like on the outside. As you can see, I have the wholesaler plate on it to show everyone that, hey, I'm a real estate wholesaler. And yeah, this is what it looks like on the outside. That's what the wing up. Look how fucking nasty this thing looks. This thing is nasty. And if, for all you guys asking, the car is stock except the upgraded turbos. Everything else is stock. Now, bro, that thing is nasty. As you can see, let's do a quick little walk around. As far as owning the car for this long, you might be asking, has it given you any problems? Of course it has. It is a McLaren. It is known, and it's supposed to give you fucking problems. That is just the motto of McLaren. McLaren, I don't know. I was going to make a joke, but nothing came to my head. So yeah, I had a bunch of suspension issues with the car, and that's from actually when I purchased it to when it came to do the annual maintenance on it. Then I had to replace tires, which is normal, especially for a two-wheel drive car. Of course, the back tires are going to wear out. Then I had to do obviously some paint work just because of rock chips and stuff. Then what else? What else did I have to do? Turbos, a bunch of suspension stuff, like I said. And yeah, that's honestly about it. But that cost me over $20,000 if you're asking me, which is a lot of money for such a simple issue to fix. But it is a supercar, it is an exotic, so that's what I should be expecting. Now you might be asking, why did you purchase this car over something else more reliable? Because I'm a dumb young teenager with money. I knew Porsche was going to be more reliable, but it wasn't going to be as sick. Look at this shit. Could a Porsche have aura like this? Of course not. The fucking doors go up. This thing goes 212 miles per hour. Allegedly, someone driving this car, in the past 8 months has done 202, and allegedly the car felt like it was going to break down while doing 202 miles per hour. Allegedly. As you guys can see, this thing is beautiful, man. And if you're hearing that whine noise and you don't know anything about McLaren, that is normal. Every single McLaren has that whining noise from the suspension. Apparently they haven't fixed that issue. My buddy has a Senna. His makes the same noise. He also has a 720. His also makes that noise. I have another buddy that has a blue 720. His also makes that noise, and it goes in and out. As you guys can see, the sound isn't going anymore. That fucking little annoying ass. Yeah, but this thing is beautiful, man. As you can see, we have the gloss gray outside. I feel like this is like a Batman smoke. Then we have the red brake calipers. We have the red S on the 720, and that's about it for color options on the outside. Now, if you look at the inside, if you ever wanted to know how to open the doors, there's a latch right under here that you click, and then the doors go up. So you can see we have top glass right here and the actual window. The inside is red and black. We have the comfort seats. We have every single carbon option on the inside. Now, as far as storage space, you might be asking, hey man, I mean, you're paying $250,000 for a car. This should at least have storage, right? No. The only storage is a little glove compartment right here, another one on the other door, and this tiny one right here, which you can maybe fit 2 McChickens. And then you have this one right here where you can maybe fit 3.5 checks. That's about it. Then you have like a little space right here and another cup holder outside of this one, but that one is not usable. Now, what else do we have about the car? We obviously have the top glass. If you were asking, what does it cost to replace these top two panels of glass on the top? It is $23,000. Now, is that ridiculous if you ask me? Yes, it is ridiculous if you're asking me. Now, what other issues have I had with the car? Not much, honestly. It's been pretty reliable. The transmission hasn't gone out. The engine hasn't had many issues. Yeah, man, it sounds nice. And this is just in sports mode. It does pop and throw out flames, but that's only when you've been driving it super hard in track mode, like I was in the previous video that I made, the fuck the club. I think I said the title was Let's Go Drive. We went on some windy roads and we were racing with a GT3 RS. We were racing with and like 3 other BMWs or 4 other BMWs, and it was throwing badass flames and the tips were red. But yeah, this does have the sport exhaust. This isn't a luxury model. This isn't the one of those 720s you can get for $180,000. This is a beautiful spec. It is a sport spec, a performance spec with most of the carbon options. So don't come over here saying, oh, I can find a 720 for $160,000. Yeah, maybe fucking 5 owners, rental car fleet with a damaged Carfax and terrible wear on the car. No, this is a 1-owner car. I am the 2nd owner. Low miles. McLaren serviced. Like, this is a nice spec, and that's the reason that I pulled the trigger on it. Now, my recommendation, if you're planning on buying a 720S or a McLaren in general, make sure you do at least 2 PPI. What is a PPI? Do I even know what that means? All I know is you're paying somebody to go check on the car to make sure that whatever the dealer is saying about the car is true. Which is a pre-purchase inspection. It just came to my head. I didn't do that. I paid a broker $5,000 to find me the car, get me approved for the financing, negotiate the deal, and do his own pre-purchase inspection. And he did everything but the pre-purchase inspection the right way. So they ended up keeping the car for at least 2 months after I already purchased it and was making payments on it with a broken door. It had suspension work that was needed to be done, that was apparently getting done at McLaren, which I brought it to the shop this year to get serviced, and apparently they didn't do fucking shit. Then I had the tires replaced and all of that. But yeah, man, do your own pre-purchase inspection if you're thinking about buying a McLaren. That is one of the best advice that I would give to anyone out there that's in the market for one. I wish I did that. I didn't, but it is what it is. You live and you learn. What else? Yeah, don't trust other people. Make sure that you trust your own judgment and pay your own people to do the actual inspection on the car. Otherwise, you might get fucked. Now, what else about the car, man? Let's go and look at the inside. I've put roughly 8,000 miles on the car so far, and only 25K in maintenance work, which, I mean, most people would never drive a McLaren this many miles. Most McLaren owners, as I've been told, drive it barely on the weekends, if that. Like, most people don't drive it this much. I bought it to fucking drive it, right? Now let's look at the inside. I'm gonna turn this light on right here, and I'm gonna give you guys, is that too dark? There we go. Let's get a little bit lighter, and then let's go ahead and make this as wide as possible. Look at that steering wheel, man. You can't tell me that thing is sexy. Carbon steering wheel. Here's how you know if someone has an old ass McLaren. The thing will say McLaren right here. None of that bullshit over here. We have the actual McLaren logo, the updated steering wheel. We have the carbon shifters, which you'll see people with the brokey McLaren, they have the tiny ass shifters right here, and then they add paddles on top of that. None of that over here. We have the OEM sport performance shifters with the carbon steering wheel, with the carbon on the dash, with the carbon in the center screen. This thing is full of carbon, with the carbon on the doors. You can see it right here. None of that brokey shit. This is a beautiful spec. That's the reason I pulled the trigger on it. I think this thing is still too bright. I gotta figure out how to use this camera, bro, if I'm being honest. I gotta buy a course on how to use a camera. But yeah, now, how do you use it? So yeah, when you're turning on the car, you have to click this first without your foot on the gas. That way it turns on the electronics, not the ignition and the electronics at the same time, because McLarens are known to have electrical issues. So you do that. I do that every single time I turn on the car. And then, what else we got? You obviously want to turn off the start-stop I don't know why the fuck they have that on a supercar. Waste of space if you're asking me. You turn on active, which turns on all these settings, and then aero, which actually makes the back wing go up and down. It does have an active aero wing in the back, which goes up and down. Obviously, if you have that off, the thing will go up and down depending on if you're flooring it, or if you're braking, the thing will go up and, you know, help you with downforce. We have the Bowers and Wilkins speakers. And then when you put it in track mode, look at this beautiful thing right here. Oh my goodness, I'm hard. Thing is beautiful. And then you put it back in sport mode, which is what I mostly drive it in, and the thing comes right back up. Look at that. I obviously have my radar with me, allegedly to see if there's, you know what I mean, allegedly. Then we have the comfort seats in here. If this thing had the center seats or the bucket seats, I wouldn't be driving it this much. I honestly would have probably not bought it because they're super fucking uncomfortable. I actually test drove a 600 LT maybe 2 months before I bought this 720S. And that thing had these, not suede, it's Alcantara seats. That thing was uncomfortable. I test drove it for, I think maybe 15 minutes. And man, my back, my butt was hurting. I was like, bro, I can't do it. But yeah, as far as using the car, yeah, I told you how to turn it on. How you actually...
Sorry, I can't show the result to you while you're in the...
Bruh, leave me alone. Then you have these buttons right here as the gear selectors. You put it in neutral, then you put the parking brake on, which you pull right here. You have the light switches over here. To lock the doors, you click that button. To open the front, you click that button. To up and down the screen, you click this button no matter what mode you're in. Pretty nice little motion right there. Yeah, you can see how good of a job my detailer does. And then obviously you have the phone stand right here. Look at these tiny, I don't even know what you call these mirrors, but like, they're not rear view, but they're kind of face view. These things are literally tiny. Again, it's normally not a woman in here looking at themselves all the time. Is this one bigger? Nope, they're about the same exact size. And these things are fucking tiny. Right here you have all this stuff. I don't know. I guess these are just individual ones. Then right here, what is this? I wonder what that is. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. Oh shit. Yo, I deadass thought I lost my puck, but it was right here. I spent an extra $150 on an extra puck when the other puck was right here. Well, I guess when I buy my truck, I won't need to buy a new one. Damn, that's actually ridiculous. But yeah, this is the home screen. Yeah, you have 0 CarPlay. Bro, stop doing that, can you please? I'm not trying to talk to you, Siri. You have Apple CarPlay right here. You don't have Apple CarPlay. Actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. You just Bluetooth connect, and it always has issues, but it is what it is. You're in a 720. You are not in a BMW. I actually came from a BMW M5, if you guys are asking, which is a beautiful car. I've had two of them. The previous one I kept stocked. The first one that I got, I did everything to it. Downpipes, exhaust, lowering, tires, tune, transmit. I did everything to it. And that thing was fast. That thing would smoke this car today because this one's stock. And it is 2-wheel drive. So I am very, very careful when I'm driving it, especially on windy roads. I'm not trying to floor it when I'm turning because it's only 2 wheels going. What else? What else can I tell you guys? Obviously, terrible storage. It's a supercar. But it is beautiful, man. This thing's fast as fuck. It definitely is an eye catcher. I get a lot of people walking up to me telling me nice car and all that stuff. Now, as far as my parents... You know, I am Latino. You can clearly tell by the mustache and goatee and my skin tonality. My parents hated it. My dad was like, he understood kind of the reason why I got it. He saw the whole come up. Obviously, my parents did. They didn't just like lead me to, they kicked me out of it. They never did that. They never kicked me out of the house. But my dad was definitely proud. My mom was low-key a hater, but in a good way. Obviously, moms and dads, they care about our health. They care about our well-being. And this... to my mom was like buying a sports bike, which I've never had one before, but I can see how you can make the resemblance because it's a fucking supercar. It's literally a rocket. It's a go-kart, and it's all carbon. And the thing was, I'll put it on the screen if I'm not lazy enough when I'm editing this, but the 2 months before I actually got the car, these 2 Hispanic guys, both under 30 years old in Dallas, Texas, were in a cheaper McLaren. I think it was a 570 or maybe a 600 LT, which are still all carbon bodies. The car split in half and both of them died here in Dallas. Keep in mind, while I'm telling everyone, bro, I'm going to get a McLaren. Bro, I'm going to get a McLaren. I already bought it. Bro, I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting on it. and then that shit happens. Obviously, my parents are gonna be worried, but they are proud of me. It's not right now, please. But yeah, my parents are definitely proud of me. My dad has never been driven in it, actually. I drove my mom in it yesterday. That was her birthday. I took her shopping and everything. But yeah, I kind of pushed it a little bit, and it was a funny reaction. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole breakdown. Now let me tell you what the actual kind of future is for this car, and in my ownership, and kind of what my opinions are and what I'm gonna do and all that stuff. So this car is beautiful. It is very, very fast, and it's stock, right? But because of the reliability, I'm thinking about going to a Turbo S or going to a GT3. Something more reliable, maybe a little bit more low-key, and something that I can tune, and it'll be a little bit more reliable than if I tune this thing right here. Now, if I do end up keeping this, which it is costing me, what, almost $4,000 a month, which I have no problem paying it. I knew what I signed up for. But, you know, I don't even know why I brought up, I guess just to tell you guys. But yeah, my monthly payment is $3,900 a month. Insurance, I was paying $1,200 a month. Now I'm paying around $600. So, and then gas is probably another $500 to $700 a month. And maintenance, I probably tack on like $2,000 a month. Just for the moment that maintenance time does come, I can kind of split it up between the months and, I don't know, I guess average it out. But yes, it normally is costing me around $6 grand a month just to have this car at the age of 21 years old, which I think is very, very worth it. Just, bro, you only live once. I was 20 years old with a 720S. Think about that story that I can tell my kids, bro. I was driving around a supercar at 20 years old. That's shit that you think your dad is lying about. But I documented it, and it is real. But if I do end up keeping this car, which again, I probably won't, just because these things will drop in value, unlike a Porsche will. But if I do end up, I guess, keeping it, I am going to do a 765 carbon body kit on it, which is the carbon hood, carbon lip, carbon side skirts on both sides, and then the extended carbon wing plus a lower carbon diffuser. And if I'm doing all that, then obviously I might as well lower the car and get wheels, and then potentially satin PPFing it. But I like the gloss, honestly. I think it looks more Batman and more classy, glossy than just satin. I guess it looks like every single other person in McLaren with is satin or matte, however you want to call it. But yeah, man, this car is beautiful. It is definitely expensive, but I think it's worth it for the meaning that it has for me. And, you know, it's kind of a token of appreciation for myself and a trophy that I gave myself, because as you know, we get trophies as kids for showing up, for attendance, for participating, and for winning sometimes in sports or whatever, you know, community or thing that you're doing. But in real life, once you get out of high school, once you get out of college, and obviously the lower grades, nobody really gives you a fucking trophy. You only have yourself to pat yourself on the back. And this is kind of a trophy for myself to not only show myself, but to show other people, look how fucking hard I worked. Like, the average person that has a McLaren, obviously outside of this internet money bubble, outside of this, the online social media space that you see, oh, everybody that's 18 has a supercar, everybody has 19 has a supercar. That's not reality, bro. Like, if we're being real, 99% of supercar owners, they're what, 40, 45, 50? Some of them are 60. Like, bro, I am an outlier of an outlier and an outlier of an outlier. So this is definitely very special, and I can tell by, you know, the looks that I get, the compliments that I get when I am out, and, you know, it's nice. I'll tell you that much. I kind of got used to it, if I'm being honest. Anything nice, materialistic that you buy for yourself, you will always get used to it. I got used to it probably about a month and a half in, but one thing that I didn't have was the imposter syndrome that I had when I actually purchased my first M5. I had the imposter syndrome for like a month. It felt like a rental, but it felt like normal. Maybe because I was waiting on it for so long from it to actually be shipped out from McLaren of Atlanta to Dallas. But it is a beautiful car, man. I'm definitely proud of myself, and I hope this motivates you and whoever's watching this video to get your own. And It's just to show you this shit's fucking real, bro. Like, you have to envision it. You have to know that this shit is possible. And one thing is obviously seeing it on the internet, and one thing is seeing it in person. Like, all the people that are in North Dallas, North Texas, and that have seen this car, have seen me in person, came up to me, had a conversation. You have a completely different level of confidence because you saw it in person. You saw me in person. You know I'm a real human. But obviously you guys on the internet, you still have it because, well, I'm here fucking talking to you. But that shit's fucking real, bro. The first time I test drove this car, I fell in love with it. And before even test driving it, I was like, bro, I'm gonna have this car. I could imagine myself driving it. I could imagine myself upgrading it. I could imagine myself driving down the road and seeing people's views of it, right? Seeing people's opinions on it, seeing people's reactions to it, me making videos about it. I could imagine it. I could see it in reality. I could daydream about it. And now, it's fucking here, bro. Like, this shit is fucking real. You have to believe in yourself. Half the battle is knowing that it's possible. And the other half of the battle is just consistently working towards it and making progress in all your efforts. That's literally it, bro. The only difference between me and you is that I know something you don't, and I've been doing it for longer than you have. That's the only difference. Let's do a nice B-roll of it. Just to end off the video. Man, that thing is nasty, bro. And it's stock. Oh my god, bro. Like, this thing is a rocket. Look at this beautiful machinery, man. It is a piece of shit sometimes, I'll tell you that much, when it doesn't want to turn on or it's giving me issues, but come on, bro. Like, to have this shit at 21, at 20, obviously it was a little bit cooler. I'm 21 now, it's a little bit more played out, but bro, I still got that shit. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to learn from me on how to close your first wholesale deal or scale your wholesale business, click that first link down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.